It takes great bravery to venture through the in-between, even for a watcher.
A swell of admiration radiates out from the god's heart, a force so intense that it momentarily overwhelms you.
You do not need to follow me, for their sake or your own. Something beautiful is coming. Something that will save us all.
A great light shines from Eothas' brow, so bright that even the souls within him flinch from the source, cowering in fear.
Time cannot stop for any of us, Watcher. Even me. The sun will yet rise, Watcher. You need only wait for its light to come. I still have need of it, but do not be afraid, Watcher. Dawn will come for us all in time. Watcher, I wasn't sure you'd make it. But there is enough of you in me to grasp that you had a better chance than most. Some would say it's because you have a strong soul. Great deeds come easily to one so spiritually blessed. Or have you become great because of what has been thrust upon you, Watcher of Cadnua, Herald of Berith, Hound of Eothas? Even after all these years, countless generations, we don't know either. There is little evidence to dispute your claim. You, who ended Theos and learned the secrets of the gods. You have done much in this life, it's true. There is the fire of Kith that we fear. A fire that burns beneath a god's judging gaze and does not sputter, does not flicker, as would we all. You have come a great distance for answers. What would you ask of me, Watcher? You need to know? Or Berith? Or the gods? It seems someone else needs to know. One who has held me to the flames once before. It seems the gods may have something catastrophic in mind for me. And it would seem even she whose presence shakes the heart of this mountain needs to know. Margrin fears what I will do, just as she feared what I would do in the Deerwood. But this time, there is no power on Eora or in all of hell to stop me. There's no point in feigning ignorance, Watcher. Reading souls has been my job longer than it's been yours. Of course. Margrin fears what I will do, just as she feared what I would do in the Deerwood. Understand that what I'm saying is neither a boast nor a challenge. No, not now. Not in your lifetime. Perhaps in 100 generations, the books and tongues of Kith will forget the name Eothas. When I am finished here, you may have it back. Though you may find the process not painful, but traumatic nonetheless. But you have come here for other answers. Why I have returned, where I am going. Am I answering to you, or to Berith? But you have come a great distance for answers. What would you ask of me, Watcher? No, you won't. I made mistakes last time that I have not repeated. I will not be corrupted from my course, and neither Margrin's fire nor Andra's beloved moon can harm this body. Yes, I am sacrificing lives from this generation for the benefit of those who have not yet been born. Force gods and mortals alike to open their eyes to one another. I am going to force gods and mortals alike to open their eyes to one another. And all the powers of hell cannot drive me from this course. It seems my sister does not like the sound of that. That may be why you have come, but you may change your mind when you hear what I have to say. A fair request. I suppose your time is more limited than mine. I want to return the gods to our original purpose, and to allow mortals to worship us or ignore us for what we are, not what we pretend to be. When I entered Widewin, I did so with the intention of illuminating the history of Anguith. But even if I had succeeded, my words would have been easy to deny. Belief creates the foundation upon which a mind's reality is built. We began with a dream that if we provided guidance to mortals, each generation of souls would grow stronger. Over 2,000 years have passed. Hundreds of generations have been born, lived, and died. If the world has improved under our guidance, mortals should be prepared to understand the truth. The time has come for a new covenant between gods and mortals. One forged in the light of truth and understanding between our kind. I have not come to speak, to convince, to plead, but to break the foundations of belief itself, to extinguish the lights that maintain the illusions we have created. We took on the mantles of gods from legends, and in so doing, made real what was false, crafted truth from fiction. It is what we have tasked them with for thousands of years, and so have the gods, with their help, maintained this illusion for hundreds of generations. I will leave this place and go to the lost city the Huana call Ukaizo. It is there that all souls pass through the machines of the gods, where all souls pass into the beyond before beginning their next life. When I reach that place, I will find our great machines and tear them to pieces. I will smash the great wheel until the lights of hell all gutter and die. Both gods and mortals alike rely on the wheel. We depend on it for the souls that give us power. Mortals depend on it for the lives of future generations. Breaking it will force all of us to face the truth. I'm surprised Margaret is reacting this way. I would have thought she would appreciate a trial of this magnitude, one that tests us all. An understandable response. Still, I'm surprised Margaret is reacting this way. I would have thought she would appreciate a trial of this magnitude, one that tests us all. I admit that's not the response I expected, especially given the volcano erupting around us. Still, I'm surprised Margaret is reacting this way. I would have thought she would appreciate a trial of this magnitude, one that tests us all. We will fail together or move forward together. Either ending is preferable to the cycle we still find ourselves in. Once again, the gods have put you in a precarious position, Watcher. Considering all the troubles I have put you through, the least I can do is protect you from the wrath Margaret has intended for me. Don't thank me yet. This will be particularly difficult for you, Watcher. Perhaps I will have another opportunity to make amends. Until then, this will have to do. Brace yourself, Watcher. Then I will save you in spite of yourself. Brace yourself, Watcher. For your sake, I will ignore that. Brace yourself, Watcher. I must say, you've been remarkably calm in spite of all this. This next part may test you. Brace yourself, Watcher. The brightest souls can burn out in an instant, and even a pathetic, feeble spark can grow brilliant in time. Woe may befall the next god or mortal who stands in your way. But if it weren't for your past with Theos, with Eothas, you never would have come down this path. A penance paid in full, noted by none. That would be my absolution. But this time is different. This time, there is no power on Eora or in all of hell to stop me. It is the clearest statement of truth I can give you, give Berith, in the hopes of dissuading you from taking actions that may harm others, like the Adra that guides souls from the here to the beyond. This form was created to survive the trials of thousands of generations. The other gods may be willing to make similar sacrifices, but they will be in vain. I wanted to show all the nations of the Eastern Reach the machines we had used to create ourselves, how we had hidden our true nature from mortals for millennia. Some minds can never let go of that foundation. They would rather hold tight to the world in their mind than accept what they're being told. If they have not improved after all of this time, then we have utterly failed in our aims, and there should be a reckoning of our faults. And if the souls grew stronger, societies would become better, moving ever closer to achieving the potential we believed all mortals have within them. Even their clumsiest attempts to cloud the truth can be easily accepted by those who want desperately to believe it. But even a beautiful illusion is still a lie, obfuscating reality even as it points to a transcendent truth. I see you, Shoti. I am glad that we could meet, even if it is under quite unpleasant circumstances. My dear Shoti, I do not mean to diminish your presence here, but this is a question that the Watcher needs to answer. They are not for me to take. Shoti, you are their guardian now. You are their protector. You have taken responsibility for them, and only you can decide their fate. I cannot atone for my mistakes with words alone, Adair. I know this now. It is why I began this journey and why I must move on. I know that you have undertaken a noble mission. But I will tell you what I told the Watcher. You need not fear for the lost souls of this world. As for you, Watcher, why is it you believe you have made it this far? He alone was tasked with pursuing me. The gods have placed him in this fire. It is only right that we speak together now. She alone was tasked with pursuing me. The gods have placed her in this fire. It is only right that we speak together now. No, Adair. It is not for me to decide if the gods should remain in power. That will be for your kind, for mortals, to decide. Adair, there will never be peace among mortals, so long as they are unwittingly manipulated by the gods. The divine enslavement that Woodica reveres perpetuates ignorance, chaos, and violence across the world. I only wish to destroy the darkness that surrounds the gods, that you may better see us for what we are. Perhaps we will meet again, Adair. Until then, take care of the Watcher. All that I have done for your sake. If we do not meet again, Adair, please take care of the Watcher. And when my work is done, I will leave this world forever. Tell them what you have witnessed, Watcher. Tell them what is coming. Your first attempt to contact me was brave. This second attempt, is it born out of desperation or something else? Why do you continue to follow me, Watcher of Cadnua? Yes, they must want answers. But why do the biddings of the gods matter to you? I am sorry for what I did, but it was done for the hope of a better future. Many Kith would like to know the gods' designs. Why is it so important to you? That's a great challenge you've taken on. Why is that so? Do you believe it is the place of Kith to fight the wars of gods? Your faith must be troubled by what is happening. What wisdom do you think you will find from this vantage that you could not on your own? That is a cruel bargain, to be a god's pawn. Why not? Why should mortals serve the gods? Or the gods, as the case may be. I hoped only to explain, not to pacify you, not to pardon my actions. Can you be pacified, or is revenge your goal? It is not. When the gods set foot to Eora, the mountains tremble and the seas roil. The moon falls from the heavens, and the sky blackens with ash. It is not fair. It is not just. Like the storm, even a god needs strength. This form requires much more than that of a mortal Kith. Without those souls in Cadnua, I would never have been able to free myself. But Watcher, you already know that we gods were once as you, mortal Kith who dared to peer through the cracks. And what did we find? More order, more chaos. But no great minds or spirits. No higher forces of intelligence to give us guidance. Not even the perspective of thousands of immortal souls fused in purpose, endless in vision within and without, could grant us the perspective required to understand our reason for existing, to take guidance from what we present as our will. To place faith in our falsehood is to seek purpose in artifice, truth in lies. No, mortals deserve more than that. Why would you risk your life and soul for this knowledge? Some mortals believe that with enough meditation and proper living, the will of the contemplative becomes indistinguishable from that of the divine. And what is the foundation of your sense of right and wrong? Why? But if mortals exist only to be subservient to the will of the gods, why do you have will at all? Right action, even for the wrong reasons, is virtuous enough for the Watcher of Cadnua. But a play's audience knows the play is a lie. Most mortals do not have the benefit of your knowledge. The true will, my true will, the true will of the gods. To gain a glimpse of such a thing, all mortals would have to share in your knowledge, the knowledge of our origins. If we are incomprehensible to the mortal mind, even a watcher's, this pursuit is, at best, futile. I hope for a world where mortals need not wonder at our designs. You are in a unique position. In spite of the work of the leaden key and hand occult, you have seen through our facade. You know the gods' true nature. Without the benefit of your knowledge, few mortals would be willing to accept the true history of their gods. After all, we weren't. The last time I walked Eora, I made a mistake in not revealing my true purpose. I believe you would understand it better than most. I care for those I have harmed, but it is not enough to care. What I have done, what I do, is done out of love, and love requires sacrifices, sometimes awful ones. We can be, Watcher, but I and my kin have spent centuries hiding our true nature from mortals. There can be no reckoning in the darkness. The question remains, what purpose do the strivings of our multitudes serve? And me. And yet, the question remains, to what end? And all of this order out of chaos, what set it in motion? And despite this, we still find ourselves at cross purposes, and as fallible as the mortals we presume to watch over. And yet, we were not always so. We were once as you, weak as you, mortal as you, seeking answers as you, as it was for the Angwithans, in a time before the gods watched over the turning of the wheel. Faith can give hope and guidance, but who were the authors of those teachings? Were they gods? Were they mortals? Were they the hand occult? It does. Bereth and Woodica terrify mortals with the wheel's ability to punish, to destroy. I wish more of my kin believed in its power to give new life, to give hope. The bends in the stream know not the source of the water that formed them. But nevertheless, there is one. I hope that is true. But you may not be satisfied with what I have to tell you. To take a full tally of the damage I have done, one would have to stretch their gaze hundreds of lifetimes before yours, Watcher. I cannot undo what I have done, but perhaps I can help make a better future for us all. If I could pay it, I would. But there is not a fine in all Eora heavy enough to clear my debt, Watcher. I cannot undo what I have done, but perhaps I can help make a better future for us all. Thousands that you know of, millions unknown to you. Death follows us both, Watcher. We must always care and take care. But caring is not enough. This form is not one I took happily, but it is the one most suited to the task before me. I could not repeat the mistake I made with Widewin. Beware, Watcher. Her gifts were for a dangerous purpose. I mean you no harm, but the pallid night has put you in a mortal peril. Your anger is understandable. Many mortals curse the gods for their misfortune, but you are in the rare position of knowing exactly how we are manipulating you. And you do so knowing how we came to be, love, for us.
He considers you for a long moment.
Given what you know, Watcher, It is difficult to understand why. Yes, we all should. Perhaps Eora would be better off if we were all a little more like you. And after we are finished here, I'm certain they will call for you at the hour of their choosing. Won't they, Watcher? Yes, I will tell you, but this is not the time. As I take this body farther from the lighthouse, the tether grows weaker, and I have already tarried too long. Soon this link will unravel completely. If I have not reached my destination when that happens, I will need to pull more souls from your world. The soldiers in Naga there were no threat to me. I did not kill them out of malice, but simply to keep this body moving. That question, Watcher, requires a more philosophical examination than we have time for. Not a vulnerability, but a dire and terrible limitation. One that I knew before I took this form. It may be hard to believe, Watcher, but I have pity for every soul I've come across on this journey. Even yours. If you would know more, find me at the Ashen Maw in Margren's Teeth. I must rest there before I begin my final work. When I leave that place, you will not be able to follow. I will do my best. Do yours, Watcher. I never sought violence or death, but Margren and the Hand Occult have ensured that the world believes the madman Widewind tried to destroy the Deerwood and everyone in it. In truth, a war was what I desired, but not one of violence. I sought a war of conscience. Some of us still care deeply for mortals. We undertook this great experiment out of concern for the people of this world and your future in it. I believe we all had the best of intentions when we began. Somewhere along the centuries, something broke. Something went wrong. It took me too long to see it, but each day brings a new dawn, and with it, a chance to see the world from the perspective of who you have become. Throughout history, societies have called Watchers frauds and madmen, prophets and oracles. I have never known one to take on the burden of arbitration between mortals and gods. There was no malice in that act. It was a coincidence of time, place, and necessity.
Eothas's voice grows fainter as he speaks.
If people saw that the ruins so faithfully guarded by the Glanfathans were nothing more than machines the Angwithans had used to turn themselves into gods, what could that mean? We were not always like this, but I would not want us to go back to what we were in the beginning. There must be something more for us. All of us. It is. When you contacted me from Port Mage, I had to sever my tether to the luminous Adra. Without it, I lacked the strength to reach Hasongo. I pulled souls from the creatures of the ocean and from the people at Hasongo until I could reach the lighthouse. Before I go, I should return some of this to you. I still have need of the great power of your soul, but I can spare you this portion. I have seen the darkness in you, Watcher, but will not judge you for it. Never again. Take what is yours. It is strange to see Ukaizo in this way. It may be hard to picture, but this city was once full of life. The Huana, yes, but also kith from many other cultures. Great hanging trees shadowed these boulevards. Gardens sprawled across the open rooftops. Each spring, a festival procession would wind its way from the hillside into this valley. The celebrants would pass through a steep walk among the stalls of foreign merchants, flowers falling upon them from all sides. All people of all nations, together in a celebration of new life. Such was the power and beauty of Lost Ukaizo. Lost Ukaizo remains only in name Tekehu. It is a name as barren as this city. If future generations wish to create life in this place, they must look forward as much as they look back. As long as there are people like you in this world, Adair, I truly do. This power has always been in the grasp of mortals. Now you will finally be aware of it. Now you will be able to decide what to do with it. Adair, I wish I could explain it to you. It breaks my heart that I cannot. But no matter how much you curse me, do not despair. The souls of this world will need people like you. Lights burning brightly in the darkness to come. Tekehu, the gods have already decided so much of your life. I would not shape what remains of it. You know how your people could benefit from your help. You have also come to see that this life is yours to live as you choose. Deciding what course to take is not easy. But if you do not choose, your life may pass you by as you stand at the crossroads. The Deadfire and the Eastern Reach are full of animancers, women and men with brilliant minds who can solve this great problem. They will also need people with brilliant souls, like you, Shodi. People who can tend to the spiritual needs of the world in a time of fear and desperation. Remember, the flame you bear is not only light, but warmth. Provide comfort to all who need it. It saddens me that the harvesting of souls in my name has brought you to this place, Shodi. But I am the cause, and I must take responsibility for it. I can only hope that after I am gone, you will see there is a brighter future for mortals. It is a future that you can help shape, even if you cannot see it now. A wise question, Seraphim. Have no doubt, some of the gods are already trying to figure out a way to fix this on their own. It is not beyond their capabilities. After all, we made these machines with the Huana many years ago. But it is not something they can do easily. Not without mortal assistance. It will be for mortals to decide if they should receive it. But Palagina, you do so only because in this, you foresee the death of my kin. Ukaizo's time has passed, Maya. It remains only as a symbol, but symbols can hold great power. If you wonder about the future of Rauatai, know that if there is any greatness in your people, it existed before you set foot in this ancient place. Only you can answer that question, Maya. Rauatai has persevered through great adversity. Ukaizo will not make Rauatai any greater or lesser than it already is. Only its people possess that power. The storms that ravaged your homeland have ended, but that in itself may present new challenges for your people. It is my hope that after I am gone, Rauatai will work together with its rivals to create a new world, instead of fighting over the ruins of the old. But what of you, Watcher? Why have you followed me? Have you come to bear witness to the breaking of the wheel? We have wronged you. We have wronged all mortals for far too long. But after this moment, you may see a change in my brothers and sisters. Humility can be good for the soul, even a god's. And you believe I should give my strength to one of them. I am certain Woodica has convinced you of this course. Aloth, we are all, gods and mortals, responsible for our own actions. But inaction carries its own moral responsibility. It is a burden I have carried for far too long. One must always do as their conscience dictates, even if that means abdicating a position of power. Watcher, there is no fight to be had. If you seek rest, I can take your soul from you, though it would be a strange and tragic end to your journey. Why have you really come? Why do you believe I should give this power, which we have used so irresponsibly for so long, to any of them? Mortals are already inspired. It is what has pushed them on for hundreds of generations to reach this point in time. Animancy is poised to go far beyond what we Ingwithans ever discovered. It is pity for mortals that drives me, Watcher. I have felt it in every step I have taken to cross the Deadfire and reach this place. What more would you have me do? No, this is Remergon's doing. You cannot believe this is what is best for us, Watcher. Why would you ask me to do such a thing? Yes, I knew it must be Remergond. His pitiless views seem most appealing when they take on the veneer of rational philosophy. No, Watcher. I will not succumb to despair. I will not let you corrupt my purpose for being here. Even if a final death is inevitable, life is still worth living while we have it. Even Remergond is not so hateful that he would give such a reason. Why does Helia think I should lend more power to mortals? It is true. While the eventual restoration of the wheel will bring them relief, they will suffer until that time comes. Thank you for making me think of the lost souls, Watcher. I will provide a haven for them after my work here is finished. I hope you did not expect me to take action for your sake alone. Still, it is true. The souls trapped in the in-between will suffer until the wheel is restored. They will reach out for help to any Watcher they can see. While I hope that animancers would realize the ultimate importance of repairing the wheel, I admit that many may be distracted by the problem of lost souls. I know such sympathy should be commended, even though I recognize what trouble it could cause. It is true, we created ourselves as equals, even if Woodica did create a story about her past to elevate her own glory. Though I hope my brothers and sisters would not do so. History has shown that this chaos may very well move them to war. They very well may go to war. As much as it pains me to admit it, history has shown us that such chaos breeds instability. You have convinced me, Watcher. The gods do need a strong leader. I will ensure they have one after I am gone. I see your point. Perhaps it was naive of me to think that mortals could immediately set about to fixing the wheel in the midst of such chaos. It's true that even with all the advances in animancy, the gods will enter into this era much more well-prepared than mortals, as do I. Very well, Watcher. I will ensure that mortals are inspired by my passing, that my power not be expended in vain. I must attend to my final work now. I cannot delay any longer. You have carried a heavy burden across the Deadfire, Watcher. Before I go, I would rid you of it. You are free now, as free as any of us can be. Many will come to you for help in the years ahead. Animancers, priests, even the gods themselves. I have great hope for you. But always remember that your future is for you to decide. Use your freedom well. You are welcome to do so. From where should mortals draw their inspiration? Widewin, I did not think to see you here. But few things go as expected when the Watcher is involved. An astute observation, old friend. Consider instead that I am giving the soil back to those who till it. Spring must always follow winter. As long as there are people committed to finding the other side of change, the agony will not last. But thank you for challenging me as you did in fairer times. I haven't forgotten the lesson we strove to impart. Indulge me in a moment's curiosity. There is something I wish to know about Eora, about Kith, that I can only learn through your eyes. You followed me all this way, dodging an armada, navigating an impenetrable wall of storms. You misunderstand. Yes, very well. Besting a guardian who existed to bar your trespass, voyaging across uncharted seas, with the machinations of gods echoing in your ears, and you did so on your own. That is no small achievement. Kith across Eora will hear the tale of it and look to you with awe, all the while trusting in the institutions of Kith to get you this far, and earning their trust in turn. Whatever else happens this day, that much is remarkable. I believe that mortals possess the strength to collaborate and shape a future of their own design. Not all of my brothers and sisters agree. I had hoped your actions would set an example for the future, demonstrating the resilience and ingenuity of mortals when they work together. What inspired your decision, Watcher? Did the choice echo your foundational beliefs? Or were you influenced by observation, by relying on others and coming together in a time of crisis? You illustrate my point. The gods will witness you and question their assumptions about how responsible, empathetic, and sophisticated mortals can be. I thank you for your perspective. Yours is not the only opinion that concerns me, but for the moment, it offers much to consider. Boudica has been especially active since the downfall of her favorite operative. Have you ever considered that she is mentoring his replacement? Perhaps not. One day, I hope you are able to look beyond your misfortunes and behold a broader view of my motives. You shirked the aid of others and came this far alone, but I think you'll find that the future is built on trust, cooperation, and understanding among kith. Never forget that trust and coordination between mortals brought you to this place. Your future is built on a foundation of hope, and you have laid the first stone. All I ever wanted for mortals was growth, transformation. Once, my brothers and sisters shared this goal. It brings me great sorrow that crisis is the only way to set the future in motion. Would that I could pass the responsibility of heralding your darkest hour to another. Ask. You are entitled to any answer that is mine to give. A Titan approaches? I had thought them all. No. The work continues. I can delay no longer. The great work of the Eothas falls to ruin. Reincarnation as we know it will end. When we tamed the cycle of reincarnation, we broke what had once functioned naturally and without intervention. The flow of essence will not normalize on its own. Souls which currently await new life in the beyond will be born into the world as normal, but their numbers will not replenish unless mortals work together to carve a new path. The essence of life will be trapped in the netherworld. Gods will starve. Eora will grow silent and cold. A generation or more. That much essence is already poised to flow into Eora. But unlike an hourglass, no amount of turning will compel the sand to reverse its course. By your reckoning, there are still good years to come. By ours, time is short. Should you choose, you could lay down your burden and trust in your children's children to set matters right. That depends entirely on you. Essence will simply pool in the void of the in-between, never passing through Adra networks to the beyond. The dead will be left to wander in darkness, confusion, and sorrow. No one is worthy of unconditional trust. If you feel the gods are beyond forgiveness, then they don't deserve your obedience. Make your future one that doesn't require them. Should you choose to accept the gods, I hope that you temper your faith with skepticism. My brothers and sisters never act when the gains are strictly short-term. If she deserves your love, then may you be favorable partners in the years to come. Boudica is entitled to her opinion. If the intent of this test is to justify an uprising to come, that is more worrisome. The other gods must decide for themselves if mortals are ready to dictate their future. Should Boudica's tyranny prove the only alternative, mortals must prepare for a terrible conflict. Your perspective bridges eternity, Watcher. Many will look to you to mediate differences that could shake the very foundations of Eora. Once the Beyond has emptied, every birth will be hollow-born. Other maladies of the soul may follow and plague those who linger in life. Coming to Okaizo unencumbered by alliances proves a different point than the one I intended, but it is a valuable one all the same. If Wutaka's shadow has fallen upon you, that can only mean she recognizes your potential to further her ambition. Some have forgotten themselves, giving in to fatalism or tyranny. Others have succumbed to apathy. Anything that dies will tarry in the void of the in-between, awaiting the motion of a wheel that no longer turns. Yes, they must work toward a solution or perish. If that task is beyond their skill, then they no longer deserve their position. I would have them justify their right to lead. That could mean swallowing their pride and hearkening to the wisdom of mortals. Some, I expect, will perform better than others, for several reasons. My strength was diminished after the Godhammer bomb, and assuming this form took incredible effort, with so many vying for control of the Deadfire. I also saw a ripe opportunity for mortals to cast aside their differences and stand together as one. They have never been more powerful, more capable. Because of this, the gods must justify their importance or be proven obsolete. I apologize, Watcher. There is nothing I can do to restore the glory of your hard-won and poorly situated estate. Given your perseverance, I know that a second home cannot be distant in your future. You have only to seek it out. What happened to Cadnua was not personal in nature. I would have occupied the statue even if it was buried beneath Defiance Bay.